Picture this. You're earning up to 200,000 Rand a month, living in a luxury estate and driving a Range Rover. Now imagine losing it all overnight. That's exactly what happened to Tendai Ndoro, the once golden boy of Orlando Pirates. But here's the kicker. The cause of his downfall wasn't what anyone expected. Ndoro was living the dream. He had it all. A fleet of luxury cars, a high-end home, and a salary that most of us can only imagine. When he moved to Al Sadd in Saudi Arabia, his bank account swelled even more. You'd think someone in that position would be set for life, right? But here's where things get interesting. Ndoro's fall from grace wasn't just about money. It wasn't even about his health issues or his ex-wife, as many initially thought. No, the real reason behind his spectacular downfall is something that will make you question everything you thought you knew about success and failure in the world of football. The golden years, Ndoro's ascent in Orlando Pirates. But before we uncover the shocking truth behind Ndoro's fall, let's rewind to the golden years that made him a household name in South African football. You see, Tendai Ndoro's journey to stardom wasn't an overnight success story. It was a tale of talent, hard work, and a series of career-defining moments that catapulted him into the spotlight. Imagine you're a young footballer from Zimbabwe, playing for a team called Chicken Inn. Sounds like the start of a joke, right? But for Ndoro, it was the beginning of something big. After impressing in the Zimbabwean Premier Soccer League, he caught the eye of South African scouts. In 2014, Black Aces took a chance on him, and boy did it pay off. Ndoro's performances at Black Aces were nothing short of spectacular. So much so that Orlando Pirates, one of South Africa's biggest clubs, couldn't resist snapping him up. This is where things really started to take off for Ndoro. At Pirates, he wasn't just playing football, he was living the dream. Let's talk numbers for a second. At the peak of his career with Orlando Pirates, Ndoro was reportedly earning between 100,000 to 200,000 Rand per month. That's the kind of salary that can change your life overnight. But Ndoro's financial success didn't stop there. In 2017, Ndoro made a move that would make most of us green with envy. He signed with Al Sadd in Saudi Arabia for a transfer of $600,000. And get this, he pocketed $60,000 from the deal himself. But wait, there's more. His weekly salary in Saudi Arabia, a cool $88,000. That's more than many people earn in a year. With that kind of money flowing in, Ndoro's lifestyle underwent a dramatic transformation. Remember that beat-up car you drove in college? Well, Ndoro was cruising around in a fleet of luxury vehicles that would make a car dealership owner jealous. We're talking about a Range Rover, a Porsche, a VW Golf GTI, and Jeep SRT. And he wasn't shy about showing them off on Instagram. But cars were just the beginning. Ndoro's home was the kind of place you'd see on MTV Cribs. He lived in an upscale property in the Khumalo estate, estimated to be worth between 5 million Rand to 6 million Rand. For a guy who grew up in poverty, this was more than just a house. It was a symbol of how far he'd come. On the pitch, Ndoro was unstoppable. Fans adored him, and his reputation as a lethal striker grew with every goal he scored. He wasn't just playing football, he was putting on a show. Every match was an opportunity for Ndoro to cement his status as Orlando Pirates' golden boy. It seemed like Ndoro had it all: the talent, the money, the fame, and the adoration of fans. His journey from a small-town Zimbabwean team to becoming one of the highest paid players in South African football was the stuff of dreams. But as we know, dreams can sometimes turn into nightmares. And for Ndoro, the wake-up call was just around the corner. But before we reveal the shocking truth behind Ndoro's downfall, let's take a closer look at what was happening behind the scenes during his rise to fame. You see, while Ndoro was living the high life, there were cracks forming in the foundation of his empire that no one else could see. Remember how we talked about Ndoro's luxury cars and fancy house? Well, there's something you might not know. All of those assets, the ones that made Ndoro look like he was on top of the world, weren't actually registered in his name. In fact, they were all under the name of his ex-wife, Thandekile Grace Maseko. Now you might be thinking, why would a successful footballer do that? It's a question that had many people scratching their heads. Some speculated it was a way to protect his assets. Others thought it might have been for tax reasons. Whatever the reason, this decision would come back to haunt Ndoro in ways he couldn't have imagined. When Ndoro's marriage fell apart, so did his financial security. An anonymous source revealed, it appears Ndoro's property in South Africa is not registered in his name. So when things were not going well with his wife, he was kicked out. Just like that, the man who once had it all found himself with nothing. But here's where things get even more interesting. While many were quick to point fingers at Ndoro's ex-wife, she denied any wrongdoing. In her own words, she stated, "I just wanted to clear the air on the issue that was posted about me. I've not seen Tendai since then, and I've never lived in Kemi." So, if it wasn't just about the divorce, what else was going on? Well, it turns out that Ndoro's lifestyle might have been a bit too extravagant for his own good. Reports began to surface about his spending habits. And let's just say his personal life was a bit more complicated than people realized. You know how they say money can't buy happiness? Well, in Ndoro's case, it seems like he was trying to prove that wrong. There were allegations of multiple relationships and a reputation for being a bit of a ladies' man. It's the kind of lifestyle that can burn through even the biggest bank accounts if you're not careful. But here's the thing that really makes you wonder. There were warning signs all along. Little cracks in the facade that, looking back, seem so obvious. But at the time, when Ndoro was at the height of his success, people didn't either notice or chose to ignore them. It's like when you're watching a movie for the second time and you start noticing all these little clues that give away the ending. Hindsight is 20/20, as they say. But in the moment, it's easy to get caught up in the glitz and glamour and miss the signs that something isn't quite right. Now, you might be thinking that this is just another story of a footballer who couldn't handle fame and fortune, but there's more to Ndoro's story than meets the eye. In fact, Ndoro himself had a very different explanation for his troubles. He claimed that he was spiritually attacked during his hardships, clarifying that it had nothing to do with Thando. It was not a marital thing or a financial thing, but a spiritual attack that affected him. You might think that losing your fortune would be the worst thing that could happen to a successful footballer. But for Tendai Ndoro, the hits just kept coming. While everyone was focused on his financial troubles, something even more concerning was happening behind the scenes. Imagine waking up one day and not being able to see. That's exactly what happened to Ndoro. For 3 weeks, he was completely blind. It's the kind of thing that would terrify anyone. But for a professional athlete, it's a nightmare come to life. And as if that wasn't enough, Ndoro was also diagnosed with diabetes. These health issues didn't just affect Ndoro's career, they changed his entire life. You see, when you're at the top of your game, it's easy to take your health for granted. But when it starts to fail you, everything else starts to crumble too. The public got a shocking glimpse of Ndoro's decline in 2021. Pictures surfaced of him training with a lower league team, and let's just say he didn't look like the star striker everyone remembered. His appearance was so alarming that it caught the attention of George Mofo, the former chairperson of Mpumalanga Black Aces. Mofo didn't mince words, saying, "It looks very concerning, to be honest. He really looks like he's struggling, and I feel for the boy." Imagine seeing your former teammate, someone you used to play alongside in packed stadiums, looking like a shadow of their former self. It's no wonder that Ndoro's situation sparked concern among fans and fellow players alike. People who once cheered for him on the pitch were now worrying about his well-being off it. But here's where things get complicated. Ndoro's health issues didn't happen in a vacuum. They coincided with his financial troubles, creating a perfect storm of misfortune. As he lost his luxury homes and cars, his health visibly declined. It's like watching a house of cards collapse. When one part falls, the rest soon follows. You might be wondering, how does someone go from being a football star to facing such dire circumstances? Well, the truth is, it's not as uncommon as you might think. The pressure of maintaining a lavish lifestyle, coupled with the physical demands of professional sports, can take a toll on anyone. But in Ndoro's case, it seems like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. The reports of Ndoro's health deterioration alongside his financial problems raised some serious questions. Was the stress of losing everything affecting his health? Or did his health issues contribute to his financial downfall? It's a chicken and egg situation that's hard to unravel. What we do know is that Ndoro's situation was serious enough to prompt calls for assistance from his former colleagues. It's a stark reminder of how quickly things can change in the world of professional sports. 1 minute you're on top of the world, and the next, you're relying on the goodwill of others just to get by. As shocking as Ndoro's story is, it's not just about one man's misfortune. It's a cautionary tale about the fragility of success and the importance of health. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. In fact, what happened next would leave everyone questioning everything they thought they knew about Ndoro's situation. Just when you think you've heard it all, Tendai Ndoro throws a curveball that changes everything. Remember all those theories about his ex-wife and his lavish lifestyle? Well, Ndoro has a different explanation. Ndoro cleared his ex-wife of any blame, attesting that she had no hand in his riches to rags story. He claims he was spiritually attacked during his hardships. You heard that right. According to Ndoro, it wasn't about money or marriage, but something far more mysterious. This revelation isn't just surprising, it's transformative. Ndoro's journey took an unexpected turn as he became a devoted Christian. He's not just talking the talk either. He's walking the walk with a new wife, Rumbidzai Majese, and their son, Mukundi Zain. It's like watching a phoenix rise from the ashes. Recent social media posts suggest Ndoro might be regaining his financial stability and health. But here's the real kicker. This spiritual twist completely reframes his riches to rags story. It's not just about losing wealth anymore. It's about finding faith.